Hey everybody, Dr. Kelley here. I just want to go over what I call punctuations, 5 punctuations, things that can bring your progress to a stop if you let them. And punctuations are like periods or exclamation points that come at the end of a process, particularly a sentence. But in the case of what we're doing here in this program, the punctuations are things that bring your progress and your momentum to a halt, essentially. And so here are 5 of them to pay particular attention to, because you don't want to let these throw you off track and to stall your progress. And so 5 punctuations that will stall your progress. And the first 3 are things that tend to happen unexpectedly. Number 1, going out to lunch. And everybody has to go out to lunch, or if you're in school, you have a lunch break typically. If you work, a lot of times you have a break or an hour or so for lunch. Some people have less, 15, 30 minutes. But what I'm talking about here is randomly going out to lunch and not knowing what you're going to have for lunch. Going with your coworker to the Chinese buffet is always an example I give. If you allow yourself to fall into that pitfall of just randomly going wherever and not having any idea of how you're going to respond nutritionally to what you've been trying to do from a fitness standpoint, that is one of the things that can stall your progress. The other is unexpectedly getting that call from a friend and going out drinking. Now, I'm not saying that you can't ever have a drink and you can't drink alcohol strategically if you do drink. I'm talking about going out and basically having more drinks than you anticipated or expected, and the next morning you either find it difficult to get up and to exercise, or you forego it. You don't feel well enough to get your exercise in. But unexpectedly going out for a night on the town is something that can definitely be a punctuation that stalls your progress. Another is taking unplanned trips. Hey Susie, let's head to Austin, or let's go down to New Orleans, or whatever. I've got the weekend off, and so come with me. Those are things that can definitely put a big kink in your progress and can be a big punctuation. Another is simply missing 2 or more workouts consecutively. And so if you let things get in the way of your consistency, and you miss a couple of workouts, it just makes it easier for you to miss number 3 and number 4. And then all of a sudden it's a pattern. And then all of a sudden your friend calls and they want to go out drinking. And you can see where this leads. It turns into a pattern. And so as you go through this process of living the fitness response, you want to get into this pattern and into this consistent process of day after day, making sure that you're exercising, you're responding nutritionally, and that you're making it happen. Number 5, I'm going to say the last but not least in terms of the 5th punctuation that will slow you down, and that's waiting until after you get home from work to get your exercise in. And so now some people don't have an alternative, and if you're really committed and that's just the way that you do things, and you're able to get your exercise in, that's your planned time, and you're consistent about it, that's no big deal. But if you tend to try to work out earlier in the day, and that's usually your pattern, and then you have a day where you wake up and you just don't feel like getting to the gym or getting to your workout space, and you decide, well, I'll just work out when I get home from work. So many times it just doesn't happen, and you know that, I know that, and so that's another thing that can be a big punctuation. So these are 5 things just to keep them in mind, because they can get in your way if you're not planning consistently about how you're going to go about getting your exercise in, how you're going to plan your nutrition, and being intentional about every aspect of this process. So Dr. Kelley here, and if you are just getting this video, through the beta group or as a follow-up in the process of this course, Living the Fitness Response. Share it with somebody that may need help with this as well. And so I'll be with you again tomorrow. Take care, be intentional, get your workout in, and remember, respond nutritionally, because that's what's going to make it happen for you. So take care.